Today's segment, we are going to look at how to more or less look at our login and registration projects. We are going to look at how to host it on cloud using a free hosting and domain. Now, the whole concept is we understanding how to then migrate a system from offline to online. In case you deploy a system for a client, maybe a POS system for a client, and probably you want to then deploy deploy the system on the cloud, how can you go by it? And that is the whole concept of this lesson. We are going to look at how to then migrate the project. So far, the login and registration project that we created earlier on in our XAMPP control panel, we are going to then host it on cloud using the free hosting and domain. So as you can see, this is our project, and this is more or less our project. And as you can all see here, and we went ahead and did some couple of registration where we log in into our project, as we can all see. So I have my login, and I have my register and my login if I want to register. So remember that in our previous lesson we then talk about in as much that we viewing our project on our mobile phone to test it, how it will be responsive on our mobile phone. Now, as you can see that we created this record, or this register this name on our PC and AMA on our phone. So if I want to then log in to my registration form, what I'll do is I'll go to the interface. Then I'll type my password, I'll type my username, which is admin@armstrong.com. Then I'll go ahead and type my password. The simple password is 1223456. Okay, login successful, welcome. So that is it. So my password become 1233456. Okay, now having done this, now let's assume that you've built a system, or you've deployed a system for someone. As you can see, you've deployed a system for someone offline, and then you wanted to then migrate the system from offline to online. So how do you go by this? Now, first, what you must do is that you must first import the database file. Okay, you have to import it. One would say you have to you have to extract it. Okay, not import, you extract. Okay, you have to extract the database file from your XAMPP control panel. Okay, you extract it. So how do we extract that database file? So you could see in our PHP MyAdmin, we created a database name user underscore system, user underscore system, being the name of the database. Okay, that contain a table known as users, and in that users contains some couple of users. So this is it here. So first, what I will do is I need to extract that file from the database, so far as my localhost is concerned. So I'll select this, and after selecting it, I'll just come to where we have export. So I'll export it from the data. I'll click on export. So when I click on export, I wait a while, and then I'll just go ahead. Now it's asking me the name. Don't worry, just scroll down and then click on export. And you can see here is showing me the location where I would like to export it to. Now I'd like to export it to my XAMPP. You can see here I have my local disk XAMPP htdocs, and then login and registration. So I'm exporting it to login and registration folder, which is my project folder, and click on save. So after I've done that, you can see there here it has been exported to the folder. Now let's look at how true is that. How true that it has been exported to the folder. So on my desktop, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and double click on this PC. Then on this PC, I'll go to local disk. Then I'll go ahead and come to where I have my XAMPP. Then what I'll do is I come to my HC docs and I come to login and registration. And you can see there, this is what my database. You can see a user system.sql. So that becomes my database. So as indeed I have find that, what I'll do is that I need to zip. So what I'll do is that I need to zip the entire folder. Okay, so the entire project folder. So I'll come to where we have HT docs. And as you can see, we have the login and registration. I'll right click on it. So after I right click on it, I'll just go ahead and then go to send to compress file folder, and you can see I have zipped it fast. So after I've zipped it now I need to go ahead and then go and register my domain and then hosting platform where I'll be hosting my system. So to do that, I'll come to my browser and then go to this particular platform. Okay, we have free.hosting.org, this very platform. Let me just post the URL so that you can all look at it. As you can see, this one we have free.hosting.com. okay, you go for this, you go to this page. Now, as I just said, most of the time maybe you want to build a system to see how the system would then look at on the cloud. You can equally do that. free.hosting.org, okay, which when you do that, you're going to come to their official website, which is this very one here, and sign up for free. So I'll go ahead and click on sign up for free. So as I click on sign up for free, I need to fill in with my credentials. Then I'll say do not, okay, let me confirm the password again. Okay, then I have to confirm that I'm not a robot, so click on I'm not a robot. Then after that, go ahead and click on create an account. Okay, my password is not matching. It's supposed to be 8 characters, so let's do that. Then I'll go ahead and click on create an account. So after I created an account, you can see I need to be redirected to the page, but still I have to click on I'm not a robot, and done. So you can go resend me the email activation. So if only you've not received any email, you can click on they should resend you. So I'll go to my email, and you can see it here. I have the free host. I have an email here, so I'll double click on the email and then come to here this side and then click on it to activate the mail. So activate your account. So I'll click on it to activate my account, which it will bring me to the dashboard here. So you can see here it has brought me to the dashboard and your hosting account. So I have my hosting account, and if I really want to use .com, I have to pay 8.99. so it goes on and on and on and on. You can just go ahead and then create here we have create new. If you want to create a new account, then create a new hosting account. You can go ahead and do that. Or you can also come to where we have profile, and then you update the profile also as well. You can see this is my profile. You can also go to where we have use your account, and you see all your account details here. You can also go ahead and click on the hosting plan, and then you come to the home page. It take you to the home page, and so on and so forth. Now come think of it, our focus is to create a hosting account. So what I'll do, I'll click on where we have create new, So when I click on create new, for instance, now here we want to then select, you see, select your your boost, more or less. If you want to select any hosting package, if you want to select a domain name, whatever, you can. So if you want to add your own domain, you can click on own domain. If you want to select a new domain, click here to select a new domain. So I want to add your own domain. If you already have the domain already, you can, but I don't have. So I click on this, and then let's say, now remember, let me show you something. In my this PC, and when I go to my XAMPP, you can see that, okay, let me close it, I have it here. You can see that my project, my login registration for, that is the name of my project, and I want to give it a name, the domain name I want to give it to login and registration. That's the domain name I want to give to my my project. So I'll just come here, just a quick one, and then type login, and so let me just close that, join it together, login and registration. So if you want to use .org, you can. If you want to use whatever you want to use, you can. Okay, so it depends, whatever you want to use, so you can equally do that. So let me just refresh it again, so reload. So I'll select this and paste that, and I'll click on, let's check, create, submit and create. So it is submitted nicely, which it is telling us that we don't have that, so I can equally choose a domain like that. So I'll go ahead and select and submit that. So you say your domain login and registration.me is not available. To register, please check another domain name. So they said it's not available, so I should check another domain name. So let me use just okay, let me just use only registration. So Armstrong, let me just say Armstrong, let me just say Armstrong registration, okay, something like that, and let me check that. Okay, so which means that the Armstrong registration is available, so I'm good to go. So I can equally use this domain name, and I'm good to go. So it says choose a password for your hosting account. So if I want to create a password, I can go ahead and then choose a password and create my own password. So for that, I like to create my own password. Okay, so this is my own password I created, simple. Then I'll go ahead and say create my hosting account. Okay, so that has brought me to the dashboard, and this is my, if I want to view my hosting account information, I can. So you can see what your hosting account. So my hosting account is created successfully. So you can see we have connect, we have if I want to recreate another one again, I can. So when I right click on this and click on open in a new tab, so you can see here, this is small, you can see the domain name, we have Armstrong registration dot zoo.me. Okay, that's the domain name, and there's nothing in it. Okay, so having done that, might as well just view my domain information, and you can view all the information here, and you are good to go. So everything is nice and slow. So these are all my domain. I will have my SQL details, and so on and so on, my domain, and so on and so forth. So this is it here. So I have all the information here, and then I'm good to go. Now I need to connect to my cPanel. Now remember that before then we were here. Okay, anytime you finish creating the account, Okay, you can equally connect to the panel by clicking here. Right click on new, where it will take you to your panel, or you can equally click on information and then you go ahead to the panel. So when I click here, for instance, check it out. So we said, so I need to go ahead and log in with my username and password, but don't worry, I'm going to show you something. Just scroll down and then we click on yes, I approve, and then say thank you. Okay, the approval was not successful, and to bring you directly to the cPanel. So as I just said, when you come here, just click on what connect to panel, and then it will open, wait for a while, and then it will just bring you to your cPanel. So voila, as you can see. Now as we are in our cPanel, what we must do next is that we must make sure that we need to then go ahead and then what upload our folder, our file into the cPanel. So for us to do that, I'll scroll down here and come to where we have online file manager, this very side, online file manager. Click on the online file manager, and when you click on the online file manager, that is where your file is going to be. Now remember, this is our panel, this is our domain, and this is what our domain contains. When I come to this very side here, you can see I have some couple of files here, but remember that it's reading from my htdocs. This way is reading from this side. So these are my files and these are my htdocs. When I double click on it, for instance, this is where all the files are. If you want to upload your file, just come to where we have what online file manager, then you then upload to bring you to the cPanel this side, and then when it bring you here, you also to just go ahead and then open this file, and then you can equally delete the index, where we have the index.doc. That is where you put all the files, and then you put all your files in here. Okay, so if you want to, it said, see here, it's telling you do not upload file here. You don't, so you upload the file here, this side, in this side. So let me open this folder and let me go ahead and delete, and right click and click on delete. So after deleting, let's upload our files here. So just come to where we have here, we have upload.
So as indeed you've seen how to use a free host, let's look at how to use a hosting in the domain when you're in Ghana. That's said very well. Sometimes when you're using a free plan to upload your project, it look good, but so far as the database is concerned, sometimes it does not make the file look or work perfectly. So let's look at using another hosting package to then upload our project, test our project for us to see how responsive it will work, or how responsive it's working online.
Ultra Host Ghana, and they have a nice package. 1 month for 9 cities, 1 month for 335, another 1 month forward for 10 cities. Depending on the packages that you want to go for, at least you can equally leverage on this and then test your project. Okay, you can even do 2 month subscription and then test your project. So having said that, as I've said that already, I just take a recap of that. You can equally just go and create an account with them. I already have an account with them. I have some old account with them, so I'm going to use that to just test this project. So I'll go ahead and come to my cPanel, and this is my cPanel. What about cPanel? Think of a cPanel like a room, okay, or probably a particular compound in which you have access. You have your kitchen, okay, or a house that have a kitchen, that have a hall, that have, how do you call it, bedrooms, that you can go to each rooms to access whatever you want to access. So basically that's what a cPanel is, and this is on the cloud. The same thing applies to the cPanel. Now, having access to cPanel, you can equally create a custom email, custom email account like info.armstrongcomputers.org. You can equally do that. You can also create a whole lot of stuff. So that is all this. You can see all this thing here. If you want to create a WordPress website, you can equally do that to manage your WordPress for you, and you are good to go. You can create any, you can install any, you can pick any template here and then modify it to create your own website. Well, I'm not how do you call it, I like to build things from scratch, so that is my view. So now, after me being in my cPanel, what I'll do is I'll go to where I have my file manager here, and I click on where my file manager is. And this file manager, that is where I'm going to upload all my files. But before then, remember that this is kind of a website that I created for someone for so many years ago. That is favoriteLinkGhana.com. So I'm going to create a SAP domain, which we are going to then upload our project to. So for me to create my SAP domain, what I'll do is that I'll scroll down here. Here you can see I have domain. So I want to create a SAP domain. So I'll just click on my domain. And when I click on my domain, you can see here I have the main domain known as the favorite link, okay, favoriteLinkGhana.com. So I'm creating a subdomain, so I'll go ahead and click on create new. So here, to create a subdomain, what I must do, the example and my set must be any name I want to use, and it's going to add .favoriteLinkGhana.com. So I'm going to say let's say Armstrong. Okay, so I just type my Armstrong. Oh, my bad. So Armstrong dot. So whenever I say Armstrong dot, then I have to add favorite link to it. So I just maintain Armstrong like this, and I'll use, let's say they said this domain name may include a what less than 2. Okay, let's just do, let me use a name like this here. So let's use let me copy that favorite link, paste that here, and I'll say Armstrong dot. So you see it here, I have Armstrong dot favoriteLinkGhana.com. Okay, so that is my domain name. I'm good to go. So as I have Armstrong.favoriteLinkGhana.com, I don't want to share the same folder with this. This is share what document root by what's home favorite link public with what with favoritelink.com. I don't want to do that. I don't want to share the same document, because that document, what I'm going to insert in favorite link Armstrong.favoritelink.ghana.com is different. Okay, so I'll go ahead and then submit that. So I need to submit that domain, so I'll go to submit. You have successfully created the new domain known as Armstrong favorite link blah 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 domain. So that is it here, and you can see it here showing here like Armstrong.favorite link. Now when I click on this domain, for instance, let's look at it. So when I click on the domain name here, you can see that it will open and it's empty, there's nothing in it. Okay, so let's look at it so far as as nothing is in it. Okay, yeah, as nothing is in it, let's try to create a file in that domain that we created. So I'll go back to my cPanel, and then I'll click on where we have Armstrong.favorite link here, and it will take me to in the folder of that cPanel I created. So I'll click here, and let's wait for it. Okay, so you can see here, this is the file in my Armstrong favorite link folder, which is my subdomain I created. So I'm going to just highlight on all, so you can click on select all, and to select all the folder, and I'll click on delete. And I don't want to keep that in my recycle bin, so I'll just delete all. Done. So after that, I'm going to create a simple HTML file here to test that yes indeed our subdomain is working. Now I'll click on file here, and I'm going to call it index.html, and I'll go ahead and click on create. So this is my index file, so I'll edit it and then code or write some code offline to test it. So I'll go ahead and click on edit, and click on what's edit here, and I'll write some code offline. So let's go by saying I'm writing header 1. So let's do some header 1 here, and in the header 1 I'm just want to say my favorite sentence of course, this the boy, let's say the body, the boy is going to school. So I just did the boy is going to school, as you can all see here. Okay, so I just did the boy is going to school. Then I'll go ahead and click on save changes here. So the moment I click on save changes, you can see it's successful. Now when I come back to my subdomain and refresh, let's wait for it. You can see I have the boy is going to school. So yes, indeed, my cPanel is working, my subdomain is working, my subdomain is working perfectly. Okay, so having said that, what I'll do is I'll go back to my my subdomain folder, which I have here. I'll close that and come back here. This is it. So now I'm going to then upload the folder that I zipped. Okay, my project folder that I zipped into my my subdomain that I created. So I'm going to delete this index.html to test the subdomain. I'm going to delete that. So as it's selected, I'll look through the menu here and you see delete. Click on delete, and I don't want to keep that in the trash, so let it go. Then after that, let's go ahead and then import the zip project that we zipped. So you also just click on upload, and when you click on upload, you have to make sure that you select this. You see override existing file. All the time when you're uploading the file into your cPanel, you must select override existing file. This simply means that when you have that file already existing in the how do you call it, your subdomain or your domain, it will then override it, so that at least it will not duplicate that. Okay, so I'll select that and click on select. You can equally drag your product and drop it, or you can equally click on select file and then you select the file and then you are good to go. So now I love to do select file. You can also do drag and drop. You are good to go. Remember that we zip the file, the project file. So I'll select my zip file here, which is login and registration, and open that, and you can see it's successful. So the moment it turns green, that means it is successful. Then I'll go back to my favorite link.armstrong. So I'll click on that, and you can see here this is my zip. Okay, so I'll select that, and then I'll right click to extract the file. So I'll right click on it and click on extract, and you see it is extracting. Okay, so I'm extracting it to this. So I'll click on extract file and close, and voila, this is it. Now remember that I don't want to keep it in this folder, so I like to keep it in in this very folder, armstrong.favoritelink.ghana.com. That's it. So I'll just double click on that, and these are all my files, and click on select all, and then I'll click on move. And then when I click on move, you can see where I have login and registration. I'll take off this login and registration, which simply means that I'd like it to move to this very folder, which is what Armstrong. This is my domain known as armstrong.favoritelink.ghana.com. So I'll go ahead and click on move. Done. Now when I come back to my armstrong.favoritelink.ghana.com folder, you can see here these are all my files. So I'll go ahead and delete my login folder, and select this zip file also and delete that because I don't want that. So this is my project. Now when I come to my website, for instance, and refresh, you can see my login is working nicely. Okay, and for you to test, I'm going to copy this link now and send it to you guys on WhatsApp in the group. You can just click on it and check. You can see that everything will be working nicely. So I'm just doing that right now also, so you guys can equally test and see. Okay, so done. So having done that, now you can see that everything is nice and slow. So when I click on registration, registration is here, but come think of it, when I go ahead and then log in, it's not going to work because I've not connected my database yet. Now if you've done this, the next thing you must do is that you have to go and then what, create your database, and then you go back and configure, how do you call it, and configure the connection. How do we do that? Now when I go to, this is my domain, my subdomain folder, what I'll do is I'll just click on where we have file manager and take me to the cPanel. Okay, so in my cPanel, I'll scroll down here, and where I have database, okay, you see my database here. So I click on database wizard, which, when talk about wizard, you all know that wizard guide you through the creation and annotation of whatever you are doing. So I like the database wizard to guide me through the creation and annotation of the database that I would like to create. So I'll just go ahead and click on database wizard. So in the database wizard is then asking me to create the name of my database. So I'm going to use, let's say, login, just login. So it's going to be favorite2 underscore login, and click on next. Now after that, it's going to ask me a username that I would like to use for the database. So the username I like to use is Costi, if possible, Ama. So it's going to be favorite2 underscore Ama. And the password I like to use, so I'm going to just use just a simple password, but you can also use any password that you want. So for this lesson, I will decide to use just a simple password for you to just use, but that is not advisable, but I'm just using that. So I'm just going to say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and add capital A to it. Okay, well, it's not strong, so let me just do it capital A and start 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, which I'm telling you, and do small p and add some one character here. Okay, well, let me just type my password. So I'll have to type the same password again. Well, it seems I've forgotten what I've typed. Let me do it again. Okay, so after I'm done, I'll just go ahead and click on create user. So after the user is created, that is not all. I need to permit all this permission to the database. So I'll click on what we have, allow privileges, and to select everything. Now you can see here, this is my username and this is what my database name. So I'll copy that, and after copying that, I'll make sure I put this on my notepad. It's very important. So I'll select and open my notepad and paste that on my notepad, as you can see. So I have my username and login here, and I'll go ahead and click on next. And before that, let me also do this so that we can all see. So let me do my pand, which is my password. My pand was this. This was my pand. Okay, so that's my password I use. So I've just take note of that. Then I'll go ahead and click on make changes. So it is going to make changes to all the privileges. So I'll click on make changes, and done. Changes successful. So after I'm done, I've created my database now. So after I create my database, I'll go ahead and go back to my cPanel. Click on what we have, cPanel. So go to the home page of the cPanel, and I'll scroll down here, and then when I come to where we have PHP MyAdmin, this very section, PHP MyAdmin, I'll go ahead and click on that. So the moment I click on that, it's going to take me to my database panel, just like the localhost, the interface of a localhost. This is it here, you can see. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that you need to practice your localhost very well. When you get to understand how the localhost, the XAMPP control panel, and all the control panel, all the localhost works, you are okay in the cPanel. You can equally demonstrate that also as well. Now remember that we created a database. Let me open my notepad here. We created a database, and the database is named, the database name is called what? 2 underscore login. You can see it here, 2 underscore login. So that's the name of my database. So I'll select that database. And when I select that database, now remember that I exported my database from the what's my XAMPP control panel. My XAMPP control panel. So I need to go ahead and then what import that into my what my PHP MyAdmin. So to do this, I'll just go ahead and click on what we have, import. Then now I'll come to where we have choose file. Then I'll go to my project folder where I have login and registration. Then I'll select my database to user underscore system.sql. I'll select that and click on open. Then I'll wait for that, scroll down, and I'll just click on what, import. Okay, so it's successful. Now after it's successful, you can see here I have my table in the database known as what, Armstrong and then AMA, where we created in our previous lesson. After doing this, I need to go ahead and then do the connection between my files and the database. To do that, I'll go to my cPanel and come to my screw up, come here, come to File Manager. And when you come to File Manager, you can see this is my folder, which is armstrong.ferventlingghana.com. So I'll double click on that to be open. And this is it. Now come to where I have database.php, which I'm going to select that database.php. But before then, let's look at something. When I come to my project folder, so far as my URL, which is armstrong.ferventlingghana.com, and I log in, check it out. When I log in and select this login, and I go like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and click on login, to tell me what, connection failed. Why? Because the database is not connected to any database. Now when I go and say I want to register to, and I say I'm called Ama1, my full name is Ama1, and I'm using this kind of like email as my email, and my password is 1, and I confirm my password again and then register, it is still telling me connection failed. Okay, which means I've not connected to the database, so it's not going to work. Okay, now having understood that, let's continue by connecting our database to our file. So in my cPanel where I have my database, I'll select where I have database.php, which is this. All right, click on that and then click on edit and click on edit here. Now you can see all the files. You can see that in our lesson, in our localhost, we made a username known as root. Okay, the username was what, root, so we need to change it now. As we were creating the database, you can see that we use a particular username in fervent2 underscore ama. That's the username of the database. So I'll copy that. Okay, right click on copy and come to my roots, highlight on my roots, right click and click on paste to change that. Now as we're creating the database, we give a password to it also, so we need to also come back here, and this is the password that we use for the database. So I'll copy that and change the password also here and paste that, and that is paste. Now we created the database names differently. The database name is not user underscore system anymore, and this is the name of the of the database. So we need to copy that and then come to where we have database, and then I'll highlight on it, right click and click on paste. Now I've changed everything. So after I'm done, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on save changes. So after saving changes, it's successful. So after that, what I'll do is I'll come back to my login and refresh. Now let's log in now. So I'm going to select admin@armstrong.com and I'll type my password. So if it is correct, it's going to say, how do you call it, login successful, welcome. So I'll go ahead and click on login, and you can see login successful, welcome. That means our database is connected. So with this process, for instance, this is how you can then migrate your local system that you have set up for your clients, or you have deployed for your clients, onto a cloud. So in case you've set up a system, a POS system for your clients, or maybe any kind of system for a cloud, for a client, sorry, any kind of system for a client. And let me take that again so that you can get the whole concept. What I'm trying to say is that in case you set up a system for a client locally using the local server, and then you decided to migrate to online, these are the steps to take. So first, you have to zip the file, you have to extract the database. Then after that, you go ahead and then create your domain and hosting. Then you can go ahead and then import your database into the database file that you've created, and then make sure you do the configuration to connect both files, and then voila, your database or your system is going to be on cloud.
Armstrong computers, we're leading the way, bringing ICT to your doorstep every day. Where vision meets excellence, we stand strong, transforming students where they belong. In the halls of knowledge, we light the spark.